Quality education remains a vital tool for the development of a child. A life devoid of qualitative education is hopeless and incomplete. Thus, the desire to provide the people of Kwara State the opportunity to have tertiary education and technical studies prompted the then military governor of the state, Colonel David Bamigboye retired, to establish an institution with core mandate of providing needs and aspiration of the people of the state through technical education. The institution, which was known as Kwara State College of Technology, Ilorin, at inception in 1972, had since been renamed Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilorin, and has its motto, Technology, Innovation and Service. The famous Kwara State Polytechnic, which was established to offer technical education, training, research and development of techniques in arts and languages, applied sciences, engineering, management and commerce for Kwarans and Nigerians at large, has always been blessed with visionary, talented, dedicated, committed and hard-working rectors since its inception. The present rector, Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed, is not an exemption. The Polytechnic, with the slogan Center of Technology, has recorded modest achievements since Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed took over the mantle of leadership of the institution in November 2019.
The rector, Dr. Engineer Abdul Jimoh Muhammed, he has been very wonderful. His performances are very unbeatable, and he has a very good command of his management team. And all of them, they have been cooperating with him, and all of them together, they have been cooperating with the council. The council too, I want to appreciate them. They are all complete ladies and gentlemen, level-headed people, and we appreciate them very well. And that is why we have been able to achieve much on the campus, because of the cooperation within ourselves. And moreover, His Excellency Mal Abdul Razak, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, has been very wonderful to us, very nice to us, very kind to us. We really appreciate him very well. He has been giving us all the necessary supports that we need. And we want to pray to Almighty Allah to continue to guide him in the right path. We used to nickname him Mr. Humility. We really appreciate his Mr. Humility.
Engineer Abdul assumed office at the time the world was faced with the global challenge of coronavirus, COVID-19, which affected the economy adversely. And as a tertiary institution, it is expected that its response to challenges of its immediate environment, which prompted the Polytechnic to come up with the idea of making a pedal-operated hand-washing machine, a device for hand-washing devoid of using hand to avoid contamination.
Look at that. Water is coming out. We must have this in all the ministry in Kwara State, all the MDAs, all the markets in Kwara State. These are things we need in all the markets in Kwara State. And I believe that every market in Nigeria, every government in Nigeria must buy this.
Germicide and wipes and hand sanitizers were also produced and presented to the state government and members of the Polytechnic neighboring communities as part of the institution's corporate social responsibilities. The Abdul Jimoh-led administration also worked assiduously in blocking leakages from areas such as school fees collection, payment for certificates, wage bill among others. Proceeds from this were invested on establishment of 2,000 capacity bottled water factory and commercial bakery, which has since hit the market and even making waves as one of the delights of consumers. The director in charge of this project, Mr. Abdurrahman Shehu, has this to say.
With the advent of this present ambition, Dr. Jima, the present rector of the Polytechnic, he has worked hard. The water factory can compete with any water factory in Nigeria. Then our bread also is a very good bread, well manufactured in a clean environment, and then be supervised by the experienced bakers and managers.
Dr. Abdul couldn't neglect his role as a father to students of the Polytechnic, which prompted him to look into the issue of accommodation, which has been abandoned for years by past administrations of the Polytechnic due to paucity of funds. He, however, appreciated the support of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurazak-led administration in the state for the financial support and for facilitating TED funds completion of the abandoned hostels at the Polytechnic roundabout. The Directorate of Student Services, Dr. Saeed Bolakale Ajadi, and some students of the institution speak on the state of the hostels.
When the current administration of Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed came in, he made an abandoned hostel accommodation that has been abandoned for nothing less than 5-6 years. And when he came into the mantle of leadership of this institution, Rector of Nelen, his first assignment he embarked upon was to assess the facilities on the campus. And one of those facilities, the key facilities that they assessed at that time, was the hostel, both for the male and female, that's West End and the Yankari. The hostel had become an abode for reptiles, snakes, and the rest of that. I know it was not very, very comfortable, and he sprung into action. And one of those things he did was to bring in the Department of Works and Physical Planning of the institution and give them a marching order to ensure that the hostel must come to life. I must tell you today, the last 1 year has been very wonderful. The students have been very happy for it, that we had today a very befitting hostel accommodation on our campus. It is not limited to the Yankari, the Continental Hostel, and the West End alone. I must say that the TED Fund sponsored hostel accommodation has now joined the fleet of the hostel accommodation on the campus. If you get to the roundabout today, it becomes a spectacular, object for anyone visiting the campus to see. And this has made, in fact, the students more happier. And I must say that we relate very well with those who are presently staying in the hostels. They are very happy for it. They no longer spend extra money on transportation. They enjoy the serenity of the environment. They have beautiful sceneries. You go to the library and read as at when. They enjoy free internet services on the campus here. This has made students to pass through the institution and allow the institution to also pass through them.
I am Senator Adeyemi Benjamin, the SUG General Secretary, as far as this great study of ladies is concerned. And based on what the rectors have brought into our school, I really credit our rector in person of Dr. Engineer Abdul Jimoh. I will credit him on the school hostels. There was a case of rape or something that was brought, that one of our students outside the school campus was raped. And if this student is living inside the school hostel, there won't be such thing like rape. There will be enough security and there will be much care on the student. He has really been trying on the refereeism of the students.
Another key area that attracted the attention of Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed-led administration is the issue of practical experience for mass communication students in order to be able to compete favorably with their counterparts across the country. This led to acquisition of temporary license from the National Broadcasting Commission in the year 2020. The institution's radio station, Kwarapoli 88.5 FM, with the slogan "Promoting Technology Through Broadcasting," is the pride of all mass communication students of the institution.
I really appreciate the rector who has been gotten to Kwara State Polytechnic, being able to accredit the HND for the Department of Mass Communication. This has been like a hurdle, a very big hurdle for the Polytechnic, but I really thank God for providing the HND department through him, and not just providing the HND department, but also providing us with an active and a standard radio station right here in the school premises, whereby students have the chance chance and the opportunities to practice and put their abilities of broadcasting into practice.
Being a pioneer set in this department has been a great privilege and opportunity for we students of mass communications, and also the radio station that has been brought for us. We have the opportunity to learn more, because when we go out into the market world, everything we need, practical, theory, everything we need, they have provided everything for us here, and we are also learning more and more in the Polytechnic.
Back then when we went for our CWES and IT, we were not really given the chance, but thanks to God, thanks to our rector, thanks to the management, we have full access to our own radio station now.
The rector, with the support of staff and students of the Polytechnic, also revitalized the Polytechnic Medical Center by providing necessary equipment for effective out- and inpatient services for the Polytechnic community. To further improve health care of staff, students and neighboring communities, he remodeled and renovated another abandoned building and converted it to state of the Earth Diagnostic Center.
We want to appreciate our rector, Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed, for the achievements recorded so far in our center. He has made it possible for us to have all-time availability of drug supply for students using, and also for staff, and also for members of the neighboring community. Also, we have availability of reagents and consumables at our laboratory units, available at all time. This will help us in our treatment. If we have the best diagnosis, we'll be able to give the best treatment for our patients. For the first time in the history, our rector made it possible for the medical center to conduct medical screening tests for all staff. And this yielded so many results that leads to findings that will give treatment to this staff on time, and this will in turn help our service delivery, also assist us to have a healthy environment. We propose to the management for the need to have a diagnostic center, and then our ever ready to work rector, he accepted our proposal, and then this led to the construction and remodeling of the old abandoned building, old guest talents, to build a state-of-art diagnostic center, which was commissioned at the 28th convocation ceremony. Following the building of this diagnostic center, equipment like automated hematology analyzer was procured. We have a ELISA machine which can be used for numerous tests, numbering up to close to 100 tests. This ELISA machine can do it. Can do hormonal assay, it can check for cancer antigen, a lot, just name it. We also have some other equipment that can be used to test for different body fluids, blood, urine, stool, semen, just name it, at this diagnostic center.
Determined to impact practical knowledge to students in woodworks, pattern making and machine design and fabrication, to equip students for labor markets and make them job creators rather than job seekers, Dr. Abdul-led administration refurnished some equipment that has been abandoned for years. This includes power guillotine, sheet metal rolling machine, washer making machine in fabrication workshop. In addition, 20 industrial machines in wood workshops were also brought back to functional status. The director of the institute, Engineer Ms. Bayeri, also attests to this.
I'm happy to talk about the achievements of our able rector, Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed, FNSC. He has achieved a lot since his inception as the rector of Kwara State Polytechnic. This institute, most of our workshop has been idle, so to say. But since he came in, he bought new equipment for us. For instance, in mechanical engineering department, he bought the digital lathe machine. Different sizes, different types. In electrical engineering department, he bought the digital edge tester and also digital clamp meter. In agric engineering department, he bought us mold board. He bought us ridger. He bought us plow. Even he refurbished our tractor. 2 tractors have been lying idle for a long time. They're not working to our expectation. But since he came in, he refurbished this tractor, and now we are enjoying our farming activity. We even rent out this tractor to our neighboring communities. And also, he gave us that agric engineering. We don't have land, which is a major requirement for accreditation exercise. He gave us new sites. During this last accreditation exercise, there are so many issues that were raised, among which is IoT moving to its sites, permanent sites. And he now took it up, working tirelessly day and night to see that our structure in the permanent site is occupied by IoT. Like if you look at, there's a particular structure at the roundabout. When you enter into a permanent site, there's a particular structure there that has been abandoned for in the 90s. Now, when you go there, activities are going on for renovation, just to make sure that IoT move to the permanent site. This has been our long aspiration. Also, in terms of collaboration, he ensured that this institute collaborates with some industries. Like we have this PEDI, that is the Prototype Engineering Development Institute, and also FIRO, Federal Institute of Industrial Research, based in Oshodi, so that staff will be retrained in their various areas of specialization and come back and impact positively to these students in terms of practical. And also, it's a place where our students can go for industrial training programs for 4 months and 6 months program, where they will benefit immensely and a plus to their life and also to the society.
At this digital age, it is also shocking to discover that there is no internet connectivity in the Polytechnic before the rector assumed office. Thus, to provide a permanent solution to this, Engineer Abdul-led management team embarked on the construction of Network Operating Center. With this project, both staff and students now have access to internet services for teaching and research activities. The desk officer, Network Operating Center, Mr. Adetayo, speaks.
Kwara Polytechnic started enjoying their internet facility shortly after Dr. Abdul Jimoh assumed office as the rector of Kwara State Polytechnic, appointed by Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak. And for the first time in the history of the Polytechnic, internet service become a thing of joy for both students and the staff of the Polytechnic. As we speak presently now, every staff of the Polytechnic and student of the Polytechnic have access to 24 hours browsing facility. Since inception, we've not gone down for one day. So anytime we want to do our routine maintenance, we'll make sure students are on holiday so we can do every check that we need to do. And we have not gone above 24 hours before in the last 2.5 years.
It is the basic fact that the strength of any organization is its workforce. Thus, to retain skilled and talented staff as well as to bring the best out of them, the rector embarked on a series of welfare packages for the Polytechnic staff. This commenced with the clearing of backlogs of promotions from 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020, which came as a surprise to some of the staff who have been denied promotion for years. The 2021 promotion is almost concluded and all these promotions were financially backed.
I want to say here that the rector, Engineer Dr. Abdul Jimoh Muhammed, has really tried in the areas of human capital development for staff. As the registrar, I can categorically say that when we came on board, we did the promotion for 2018, for 2019, for 2020, and we have concluded one for 2021. We are about to start that of 2022. Kudos to the rector for creating an enabling environment. We have been having combined convocation, and to his credit, it is now a yearly thing. We are doing our convocation on a yearly basis. I want to reiterate again that on the issue of discipline, staffs that were caught were dismissed, while students that were equally caught were expelled in line with the laid down rules of the institution Another area of discipline for students has to do with the dress code. Students, we have dress code for them that were displayed all over the campus so that you don't dress anyhow, because we are training students here in learning and in good character.
In order to increase academic to non-academic staff ratio, qualified non-academic staff were converted to academic cadre following due process.
I'm one of staff members of Kwara State Polytechnic that enjoyed the conversion program or exercise done by this administration. And I want to commend the management for deeming it fit to convert non-academic staff into academic staff of the Polytechnic.
Office furniture were equally provided for effective and efficient performance from the staff, while students also benefited, as furniture were also provided at the various lecture rooms to provide an atmosphere conducive for learning. In realization of its enormous benefit to staff, students and members of the Polytechnic neighboring communities, the management took the bull by the horn by initiating and establishing Kwara Poly Microfinance Bank, which awaits CBN approval. Engineer Abdul Jimoh Muhammed-led administration also got a note from members of the Polytechnic community for resuscitating the interim joint admission and matriculation board program in the Polytechnic. The Polytechnic, which is done in affiliation with Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, is to equip students seeking admission into 200 level in Nigeria University.
The IJMB program was stopped abruptly for about 12 years before it was resuscitated, and we want to thank Engineer Dr. Jimoh Muhammed, the Rector of Kwara Poly, for deeming it fit to bring the program back into Kwara Poly. And there are so many things he had done to put this in place, like this new building. He renovated it at least to have a befitting IGMB offices for us, for all the staff, and he had done so much renovations for our laboratories. All our science laboratories are in full capacity renovation, and they are very, very good in high standard. And even when the team that came from ABU Zaria inspected, they commended the effort of the rector. What he did was a very, very laudable thing.
In fact, we cannot count the achievement of our rector. Our rector has illuminated virtually all the campus with solar-powered system. So we now have solar streets all around the campus, including male and female hostel. In fact, the rector has just even started putting solar power into the newly completed roundabout hostel, which eventually he has illuminated all the campus generally. This our rector is a man that has passion for beauty. As I'm talking to you, work is highly in progress for landscaping from the school gate to the second roundabout. So that any visitor that is even coming into the Polytechnic, we know that this is the citadel of learning. This our rector has really transformed the Polytechnic into an institution that can compete with other citadel of learning, not only in Nigeria, but around the world.
With the zeal and commitment of the present administration in the Polytechnic and vast experience of the rector as an administrator, the Polytechnic academic has really improved in all spheres, particularly the sustenance of inherited stable academic calendar, which makes the institution one of the most sought after by admission seekers within and outside the states.
I thank God Almighty for making it possible to achieve this feat. I also want to appreciate His Excellency Alam Akraman and Razak for the enabling environment created. My appreciation also goes to the council, management, staff and students of the Polytechnic for their cooperation. Our projection for the monument in the next 2 years, because I've spent 3 out of the 5 years of my tenure. So the projection in the next 2 years is to leave the Polytechnic without any abandoned structure or projects. So by the grace of God, I know it is achievable and we are working towards it. So for the next budget year, we want to model the IoT story building behind the workshop that we just put to life. So there are blocks of classrooms and offices there. So that will be our next target in the coming budgetary year.